Buddy G Bear here, homesteading the desert again. Another episode. Here we are, December 8th already. I had to go to a Christmas party yesterday, my best friend Bobby, and I want to thank him if he watches this. That was a great party, had a lot of fun, and it was nice seeing all the rest of you guys over there and gals. And I'm out here now. I want to show you something I missed on the last trip, or the last video, was I did get my water delivery, and I don't know if you can see down in here, but I'm sure you can hear that. Plenty of water in there. I got 2,500 gallons. And you see this little panel on top of here? Well, that's got a little fountain pump dangling down about 6 feet down into the water, and that runs the whole time that the sun is out, and just keeps the water moving inside there so it doesn't go stagnant. And I did treat it with some chlorine, so it smells really good. I mean, there's no odors off of it or anything, and it's nice and crystal clear and nice and clean, as you can see on my hand. And I wish I'd have gotten the picture of the guys in the truck, because they were so happy to see this staircase here and not have to go up a ladder to fill my tank. The guy said, boy, this is going to be one of my best contracts here, selling water here, because he never sees anything like this. He thought this was great. And I hate to tell him, but I didn't really do it all for him. I did it for me, because I got to go up there and treat that water all the time. And I got to test the water and check it all out. Anyway, down here you can see my filter. My valve is turned on, and I am feeding water to the cabin. And I have for the last 10 days. But I did add insulation on the exposed pipes so that I don't have to worry about, because we've been dropping into the 20s here, 26, 27 degrees at nighttime. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't have any of those lines freeze. Although they are poly lines and they do have a little bit of expansion and give. I will be wrapping all of this with some more insulation. I have that in the container. And then I'm going to close off this area so that it's actually a little cabin in here, as you would. And the tank itself absorbs heat during the day, so I'm going to have that exposed into this room area here, and that heat that comes off of there and the water not being frozen will keep this above freezing inside here. So that's one of my plans. And as we walk on down, over there in my multi-pear tree, when I got here, there was another fresh squirrel tunnel going down under the roots of it. So I did bury that over again, and we'll see if the little sucker comes back again. They only seem to come now when I'm not here. The little suckers won't come around when I'm here. Okay, over here at the outdoor shower, I did insulate most of the exposed pipe. I do have to put one on that 1/2-inch line. Not a big critical thing. That's why I left that as the last one. I'll pick up some more insulation when I go to Home Depot. I just happen to have all this insulation laying around in my shop, so I used it up. And over here, I just ran some water out here and checked its clarity and that stuff. And I put a little piece of insulation down on the bottom there. I will probably insulate the parts above that to make sure that I don't have to worry about freezing. We don't really get deep freezes here. Like I said, it gets down to in the 20s at night, but then as soon as the sun comes out, it jumps right back up into the 50s. So I think I'll be okay there. I just wanted to show you that I had all of that done. And I did dust off the solar panels a little while ago, so they're producing. When I got back here this morning, the panels were showing 14.3 volts in the battery banks, and there's no wind. There's just a very light breeze. You can see my turbine up there isn't moving. It did run for probably 15 or 20 minutes earlier. We had a little gust come through here, but other than that, nice clear skies. It was up to around 70 today. It's starting to cool off a little bit now. The sun's going to be setting in no time at all, and I'll be going inside and relaxing. And you see I brought a bunch of ABS pipe up here and all my fittings and stuff like that. And I brought 3 more containers of water. And you think, well, he's got 2,500 gallons. Why is he bringing more water? Well, I'm going to be putting this into the irrigation barrels, and I'll be saving some of it for to go up into the shower barrels up there. The shower barrels are not fed by that big water tank up there. It bypasses those. And the only reason I had those connected into the system at all was because that's all the water I had running into the cabin before I got that big tank up there. And that shower is still going to be in use. So I'm going to be getting the wires run over to the water heater. The black barrel has a 300 watt element, as I mentioned once before, underneath the bottom right there. And I will be running some wire over there because if I'm producing extra electricity at 14.3 through the whole day, I don't need that much in my battery banks. You know, 13.8 is the cutoff point, so I've been just discharging electricity into the air. It's had no place to go. If I hook it up here, it'll heat the water in that barrel, and I'll have hot water out here at the shower. And as long as I take my shower during the day before the sun sets, I can shower outdoors. Well, anyway, all of that ABS is going to be coming over into this area, as this is where my indoor bath is going to be. That barbecue doesn't belong here. I just moved it here because of the winds. But I will be working on leveling out the area to where the footing is going to go for the room addition. And then I'll tunnel underneath and I'll get all the plumbing set up because where we're at the corner of the building here, this will be a shower. And right on the other side of this wall are all of the water lines that run through the cabin for the kitchen sink, and the water heater is right here behind the wall. So everything's going to be right here nice and tight. And I'm going to have my fiberglass shower right here in this corner. And then in this corner behind the shower, I'm going to have a little set of shelves there where I can keep towels and so forth and so on, shampoos and whatever. And then right about here will be the sink. And I'll be able to brush my teeth, comb my hair, things like that. Just wash my face if I want to. And then directly across from that, look in the other direction, this will be 4 feet wide. So I'm going to have the toilet on this wall over here. And I'm going to be putting the 3-inch line going down and going underneath. And I think I can trench it right down along the back of the cabin. And then I'll be able to tie these in if I want to, or I'm going to have a bypass switch. So when it's just gray water, I'll be able to catch the gray water and reuse that for watering plants and keeping my compost wet, things like that. And if any black water ends up going down the system, which probably won't happen, I can flush that out by just changing a diverter valve on it and running some gray water down there to flush it all out. But I'm going to run out about 50-60 feet down that way, and I'm going to put a septic tank in. And I will have that available. But the septic tank is not, like I said, for black water. It's going to be for gray water. And I'll have a water pump that I can wheel over there and drop into it and pump that out through a garden hose and use it for watering plants. So that's my plan. I'm hoping to get all of this graded and get all of that underground stuff that's got to go in the bottom here. Most of my plumbing I want to be above grade, so I don't have to crawl under houses or anything if I have to fix anything down the line. But the drain lines, of course, you got to go downhill, so they're going to be lower than the floor. And since they'll be lower than the floor, they'll be coming out underneath the foundation and around the cabin. Then my doorway will be cut in right in this area right here, I will have a hallway coming down this way, turn around 4 feet down. The bathroom ends. The door to the bathroom would be on the left at this point. And then you come out here and you go right into the bedroom. And the bedroom will be out here. And I was going to do a pretty large bedroom, but I think an 8 by 10 is plenty for me. So I'm just going to go 8 by 10 on that one. And the cabin right now is 10 foot wide. So I'm just going to come out 8 feet plus the 4 feet for the bathroom. That's 12 feet plus the walls. So I'll be out about 13 to 14 feet when all is said and done. And then I've got to run a vent up through the wall and pop a vent out through the roof of the place. I'll only need one 2-inch vent because all I'm going to have is the toilet, the sink, and the shower. And one 2-inch vent will handle all of that. That's it. I'm going to move my cooler here. And oh yeah, one other thing I got to mention. You see my air compressor sitting out there in the middle of the drive. That's because that one tire on the driver's side of the motorhome had actually deflated and broke off of the rim. And I didn't notice that it was low because I have a jack stand underneath it right behind it. So it didn't show that it was low because there was no weight on it. But now it's broken off, and because of the cold nights that they've been having up here, and the tire was so rigid, I couldn't get it to set the bead. So I'm letting it, I jacked it up, took it off, the weight off of it. I put a cable on a come along around the center of it, and I tightened that down, but that didn't work. But so I just decided to let it sit in the sun with no weight on it and just relax itself back into its original position. And then I'll try inflating it again tomorrow. In the meantime, it's sit down time. I'm going to make sure the container is closed, make sure everything is put away. And oh yeah, let's take a walk over real quick and show you my cloud potato here. My cloud potato plant is coming up pretty darn good. I'll be watering all this stuff tomorrow. I've got to get that irrigation barrel up there beside the tank. It's got to get refilled because I turned on the manual valve on it last time, and I got doing something else, forgot all about it, and drained the whole 55 gallons right into the orchard. Well, the trees appreciated it, but I didn't. So that's why I brought up extra water. I'll be refilling that barrel. I still have 2 barrels down here. This is irrigation water. And I've got 2/3 of a barrel sitting over there beside the porch. That's irrigation water. And inside the container, I have 11 blue barrels, like the ones on the trailer, all full of water. I have some 1-gallon containers, some 5-gallon containers, some 3-gallon containers. You got plenty of water out here. That's all potable water, so that's where we stand. I will be putting a compressed carbon filter on the water by the sink here, and I also have a filter in my refrigerator, my big refrigerator that's coming out here, and all that water for the ice and all of that will be double filtered. And that filter, of course, I showed you up there at the container, is just a sediment filter that gets any sediment and debris that's actually got in there, even dust. If it got in there, it'll take that out. That's it. G Bear, Homesteading the Desert, another episode. Enjoy.